there. Make sure there's no sound.
Yeah. There's nobody here. Nobody likes us.
No one's watching.
Nobody's watching.
It's too late.
I know. I guess we'll cancel it.
Yeah. Oh, there those guys are. How's it going, guys? Angus here from Makers Muse, and I'm clearly not at any kind of studio I would normally be in, as you probably can tell. And I have this guy with me, Dustin, the JAT.MN, and I've flown all the way to the United States.
Just
Woohoo!
to see me.
Just to see this dude. Yeah, he's very special to me. No. Introduce yourself. I'm sure everyone knows who you are.
Hey everybody, Dustin the JAT.MN. You can find me on YouTube /JAT.MN. Do printing reviews, tips, weekly live stream series, that fun stuff.
All that stuff. Yeah, I thought my room was packed. He's got a lot more in one small space than I do. That's awesome. But basically, yeah, I'm here for the Makers Fair. And we can't see the chat yet, which is convenient. But here for the Makers Fair in Bay Area. Well done. The Bay Area, that's going to be Bay Area Maker Fair that's happening this weekend, which is going to be awesome, and the Mana Hackers Meetup that's happening this Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And I thought it'd be super fun to do a stream from this guy's place and answer some Q&A. And it's like, 9 o'clock here? We got some time. Mm-hmm. And we've got WGF Macca from Wollongong. Where am I located? Well, I'm currently not in Wollongong, that's for sure. I'm a long way from Kansas. Actually, we are a long way from Kansas.
Yeah, we are actually. Kansas would be a good 2 days drive from here.
Yeah, no, we're not there. We're, where are we?
We are in Southern California.
Southern California.
Very close to Disneyland.
Very, very close to Disneyland, which I will not be going to.
For whatever reason.
And someone just did a super chat.
Oh, hey, look at that.
Hey, Zaha. Thank you, dude. Okay, the flight. So 14 hours direct from Melbourne to LAX, Los Angeles. And the time frame is pretty much polar opposites. So I got on the flight it was just becoming light in the morning on Sunday morning, so 7, 8 o'clock. And I arrived at 6 to 7 on Sunday morning. So I flew technically no time, except I was on a plane for 14 hours. So I didn't know what was going on. And we both struggled, because he woke up at 4 a.m. to pick me up.
After 3 hours of sleep.
Very appreciative of. And then we kind of struggled through the day, and somehow I'm okay now. It sort of worked.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, that was... I hate flying. I'm just going to fly first class from now on. Mm-hmm. No more coach class.
Especially on a flight that long. No,
God, no. And, of course, we have the gorgeous Lady Muse in the chat doing her moderating goodness. So you guys behave. Yeah, she's saying I ran the gauntlet for the last week and a half. I've already been at a trade show for a week. I've already done all that. And now I'm here again doing Maker Fair. I'm going to die. I'm just going to fall over.
You are going to be sleeping for a while when you get home.
Yeah. Oh, we got Will, that 3D print guy. So he's saying, hey guys, how's the internet speed there, and what stuff have I learned about those Yanks so far? Great questions. So, internet speed. What's the internet speed we got here?
I've got 350 down, 25 up.
Yeah, that's megabits, not kilobits.
And I get the full speed.
Yeah.
On both.
So that's 3 times faster than I get, and I get the top 1% percentile in Australia. So, yeah, it's 3 times faster than the top 1% of Australia's internet.
And it's not the fastest.
And it's still not the fastest. And things I learned from the Yanks so far, their light switches look weird, they're driving the wrong side of the road, and their hamburgers aren't actually as greasy as I thought. So they're pretty good. In-N-Out's pretty good, I have to say. You answer some questions. This is this evening's entertainment.
You showed the label side.
There you go. There you go.
I didn't know this existed and it was local.
Yeah. This drink purely exists because it's pretty. That's the only reason it exists.
Doesn't taste good?
That tastes right.
Oh, alright. Let's see here. Let's field a few questions from the chat. Which there is none right now. What the heck?
There's questions.
No, it's all comments.
Oh. Might have missed some. Someone was asking about Tico.
You can go to White Castle. White Castle is not here. White Castle's the East Coast, so that's again another like day and a half, 2 days drive from here.
Someone said polyalchemy made a drink.
It's kind of what it looks like.
It is polyalchemy in a drink form.
This may be weird, but do you like mangoes?
Do I like mangoes?
I don't.
I love mangoes. You probably get terrible mangoes.
Oh heck no, we get a really good.
You do?
All of the fruits are good in California.
Like really sweet ones?
Yeah.
All right.
We grow like most of them.
Fair enough.
What happened to the mosaic palette? Did you get one?
No, I didn't actually. No, I never requested one.
Oh. Well, I have a mosaic palette,
find yours?
but only machine I had to put it on was a Bowden, and it's really a pain in the butt to calibrate on a Bowden. So I picked up a Prusa i3 Mark II, and I just finished building it this weekend. So once I get more comfortable with that, I will be loading it on the Prusa and hopefully be producing some content with it going forward. Make sure he gets Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A?
He was kind of hesitant on that one. It's the fried chicken thing.
Yeah, I'm not too big on the fried chicken stuff, I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I was happy with a good burger. In-N-Out was good.
Mm-hmm. Basic though, right?
Yeah.
There's like nothing to it.
Yeah, and then I've actually been eating a lot of like Vietnamese stuff.
Well, we had Vietnamese last night.
Yeah.
And we had Japanese tonight.
I had Japanese, so I had a pho and I've had a hot pot.
Yeah.
So it's not too different to Australia, to
Mm-hmm.
what we get in Australia. David asked, stoked for Matter Hackers Meetup on Wednesday. Pretty
Yeah.
stoked.
It's going to be insane. There's like, the RSVP list is, let's just say usually the RSVP list is a good indicator of about 50% of the total that will show up. Right now the RSVP list is about double the normal.
It looked like they were building extra containment for the swarms of people which will arrive.
Yeah. Looks like it's going to be pretty crazy.
It looks massive. Yeah, so LA Meetup, yeah, that'll be the Matter Hackers one.
Mm.
How long am I staying in California? Only till we head off on Thursday morning. We're all heading up. Heading up
And that's still California.
to California.
No, we're in California.
Heading up to San Francisco,
Which is still California.
which is still California.
California is a huge state.
I'm insulting so many people.
It's approximately a 6 to 8 hour drive pending traffic to go from where we're at right now to get to Bay Area Maker Faire. So.
It's going to be a long drive.
And we're still staying in the same state.
Yeah.
And you could double that drive and still be in the same state.
It's going to be pretty far. Futch was asking what part of Australia I am in. I am near Sydney. Yeah, nice place.
Trust me, Callie's huge.
Kelly is huge. Yeah, I'm starting to realize that, Calvin.
He's been all over this general area, and we really didn't go we didn't go anywhere. We were all over the place.
Yeah. We drove all around. Saw a lot of stuff, but not really that much actually.
Saw a lot of beaches, a lot of expensive houses, interesting stores. Finding out that the prices of things here are much more reasonable.
Yeah, no, they're about the same.
With the exception of one store.
Yeah. With a bodyguard to get in. Rotary20 is asking, is it a viable option to separate prints and glue them after printing? Yes, absolutely. That's actually a better way to print things often. If you don't want overhangs where you have support material, then yeah, it's better to separate it. Support material is always a pain to remove and you might damage the underside of prints. Would you agree with that one?
Yeah, support material is always iffy. Unless you're doing a soluble support, it's always iffy.
Like that. Unless you can get away without supports.
Yeah.
Not that guy.
One's, the overhangs on that are just a little bit too extreme unless you have really good cooling.
Yeah, it's a pretty good torture test.
Yeah. You can pull it off, it's just really difficult.
That 3D printer guy gonna make more coffins than Joy. They should cover the ambulance for that purple stuff. What print of Dustin's are you most jealous of? Cheers, man. I appreciate it. I think I was chatting in your stream. The little one's quite cute.
That's the Velman. Nano.
I like this one.
It's like an all-metal version of the Hobby King Fabricator Mini.
Yeah, it's tiny print volume, and built like a tank. But
One or a couple redeeming factors: it's got a built-in SD card, it's got a built-in display, and it's got a removable bed. It's not flexible, but it's removable.
Good. That's pretty handy.
And it's magnetic,
But it's got zip ties holding the rods in place.
just like the Fabricator Mini.
It's sheet metal with zip ties.
Yeah. It's a very strange machine.
Yeah. You gonna review that at some point?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All the machines I have in here, he picks the smallest one.
It's the easiest to pick up. Except that one. I don't know if Tico's in frame.
No, it's out of frame.
What
They
a
were
shame.
asking for it earlier, though.
What a shame. Oh, Wellian, subscribed to this channel about 20 minutes ago just in time for this dank live stream. Thank you for subscribing. I do really appreciate it. CR10, that's a good question for you. Doug's asking, is it worth the cash?
Well, that's a subjective question because the price on it changes so dang much. But in all honesty, if you're finding the CR10 for like $500 US and under, anything in that range is honestly decent value. The machine is interesting because it's still got the tether setup like the i3, the Wanhao i3 and the like. So that's kind of annoying. The firmware on it is not really moddable. It uses an older version of Marlin.
Oh, okay.
And then it's got a custom controller board in it, and the hot end is something I've never really seen before. But there's been some people that have been modding it recently to put a E3D V6 on it.
Yeah, the price point's good enough to actually leave room for mods.
Yeah.
In your budget, I reckon.
But like out of the box, it's a pretty decent printer. I mean, it's not phenomenal. You're not gonna get super crazy prints, but for the out of the box experience on it, it's
I mean, the volume's
surprising.
what? 300,
300,
400.
No, 300, 300.
300.
Yeah.
So it's a cube.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it prints pretty big stuff. It's crazy
That's
large.
nuts. The price is pretty crazy too.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you always look so happy? You gotta be happy. And then because I've got booze that's shiny. Well, that's a good one. Sam was asking what printer has the best user interface in your opinion. I'll go first. Craftbot, actually. The Craftbot Plus had the most responsive interface I've ever used. You extrude by pressing the button, and it's momentary, so you can go da 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 da, and it goes
Oh wow!
like in
There's
time
no
with
delay
you.
or anything.
There's no delay at all. It's perfectly in time.
I've played with a display on a Craftbot, but I've not personally used one. I was able to play with a demo, but that's probably gonna be. That would probably be one of my favorites as well.
That's the most responsive, but I don't know, I haven't tried a Raise yet.
That's true.
That's next level.
That's like a tablet built on the machine.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You can play with one later because I think you might see one at the meetup.
Yeah. See you on the meetup and or be getting one.
Yeah.
I caught up with the Raise guys at the National Manufacturing Week in Melbourne, so that was good.
You guys have no idea how jealous I am because Ray's, one of their warehouses or distribution facilities, is not far from my area, and he's in Australia and he's going to get one.
They were there, and they asked me if I was to review one, what one would I like? And I put it at the one that's on the wooden crate. The one that's massive. And they're like, ah.
Did you have problems with the last crate you got?
Yeah. But I'll keep this one. Wesley's asking about if I'm friends with Joel, the 3D printing nerd. Yeah, we're mad friends with him.
We all
Joel's
are.
awesome. We're going to catch up with him on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, very, very much get on well. Someone also asked what's the worst printer you've ever seen, I think. I'm going to pretend I saw that. What's the worst printer you've ever seen?
That one. Not the one I was pointing at. The one above it.
The one, yeah.
It would be the Tico.
Tico.
It's got no real interface. It's got broken wireless. It's got broken extruder. It's got broken everything.
Yeah. And it's got a broken company.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got a broken company. It's got a built-in wireless access point with 0 security
Right, so someone can just log into it
while it's
or
printing.
just kill it.
Or
Right.
like try to initiate another print while it's printing.
That's some Skynet stuff right there.
It is. I felt very eerie when I was trying to run it and do test prints because it was just wide open the whole time.
Just wide open, no security. That's terrible. It's like those IP cameras that were like used for botnets.
Pretty much.
Your printer is a botnet slave.
I wouldn't doubt it if there might be something like that in there. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what it was. Maybe they were just trying to establish a botnet.
No, they failed.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. I gotta say, okay, the worst printer I've ever had the misfortune of using was the BFB 3000. So BFB was a company called Bits from Bytes, and it was a company that was established to sell these massive 3D printers, as well as something called the Repman, that had 4 linear rods with a belt joining them for the Z.
Okay.
Awful. But the BFB 3000 was about 5,000 Australian dollars, maybe 6,000 Australian dollars.
Wow.
Promised to print ABS, had a non-heated print bed. The print bed was about that large. The photos of the prints on their website were warped.
How can you make a claim like that with your prints being that bad?
The company I was working for was trying to glue the parts down with super glue to keep it stuck down. It was just never worked.
Even with super glue?
Yeah.
Oh
It
my
was just
God.
warping and cracking up.
Oh, wow.
So non-functional completely. And interesting side note, the BFB 3000 became the BFB Touch, which had a touch screen and still didn't work. Then 3 Systems bought them and turned it into the Cube X and the Cube Trio, which also didn't work. Then it became the Cube Pro. So the Cube Pro's pedigree is built on
A machine
non-functional
that never
machines.
works.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Well, at least Cube did something with them. Their machines printed decent for a
Yeah,
while.
yeah, they got better. Yeah. But yeah, they were pretty bad.
That's horrible.
Futch was asking about the new Aldi printer. Yes, that is the Wanhao i3 Plus, which I already reviewed. And I wouldn't have had any chance of getting them. Apparently each store had like 6.
That's horrible.
And they sold out in seconds.
You can't do a release like that.
No, it's. I think it's a lost leader. I reckon Aldi did it to get people in the shop. Not so much to sell cheap printers.
It wasn't selling, it was advertising.
Yeah, advertising. What else we got? Yeah, imagination about the Tico. Let's make a printer with toy steppers. And pretend it's not a toy. At least the 101 Hero pretended that was like, we are a toy. You know.
A dangerous one.
Well, 101 Hero wasn't too dangerous as such.
Still got a hot end.
Yeah. The power supply was like 3 amps.
I think that's more than the Tico.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh dear. There's another question. Oh, here we go. Oh, Zah. So he's saying, hey, I've been having layer adhesion issues, especially when printing models with perpendicular structures. Any ideas, temps? I'm using PLA at 205 degrees. PLA and warping.
On what kind of machine?
Yeah. I'd ask what sort of machine, but also PLA really shouldn't be warping. You're either printing way too hot, which doesn't sound like you are, or you just got no adhesion. So your print surface might need some glue.
Or may or may not be heated. It may need to be heated more or less.
Yeah.
Because you can overtemp it.
You can overtemp it, absolutely.
And another one I've been running into actually randomly is if you have an open air machine and you have central cooling, like air conditioning, or a large fan in the room that is pointed in the general direction of the printer, if your warping is always on one side of the machine, sometimes it's affected by the air in the room that's being blown at it because it's colder.
Heaps of schools I've visited, they're wondering why their open air machines, when printing ABS, are warping. Usually it's an air conditioning duct that's pointing right at the corner of one of them. And they're like, this machine's always got problems. It's like, there's an air conditioning duct there. You're printing ABS. That's your problem.
Move it across the room or block the duct.
Exactly. Yeah, someone's saying brim. A brim's also a great idea to stick your parts down. Yeah, honestly, I just use glue. If something's not sticking, glue makes it stick. It works.
It does.
Coastal Labs, am I in the US now for Banff? Absolutely, dude. I am in the US right now for Banff. Bay Area Maker Fair.
Yep. Or
Hashtag Banff.
Hashtag Banff 2017.
What
What about the Olo 3D printer that uses your smartphone? So,
Oh yeah, that's a good story.
was reviewing the sponsors list for Bay Area Maker Fair, and one of the sponsors on the list was Olo 3D. So supposedly Olo's going to have a booth at Bay Area Maker Fair. We shall see what happens.
I'm going to do an interview. Be like, hey, so can you explain how your printer prints? Okay. Can you show us your printer printing?
Can you show me the email of me saying this?
Yeah. Can you show me a functional prototype of your product? They have videos of like the production line.
Yeah, I've seen them like building them and like the kits for the enclosures and everything.
Yeah. So unless it's a humongous ruse, like exceedingly elaborate, I think they do exist. It's whether they work or not. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I buy into like issues with the table and stuff.
I don't know. And you can't see it. I mean, the problem with UV cured resins is they're sensitive to sunlight. The problem with daylight cured resins is they're sensitive to any light. So if you're using a phone to cure it, you're gonna like go, oh, check on my print, and like these lights would be, and it'll set.
Oh yeah, it'd be instant.
It'd be instant. Apparently, it's so fast. If you do take it into UV light, it burns your skin because the polymerization process creates heat.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
So it's actually gonna produce a hot part.
Well, yeah, it can warp
Wow.
if it polymerizes too fast.
Yeah, we know it's called a no-no, but it's always gonna be the Olo.
The no-no, the oh-no.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no, Olo.
The no-no, oh-no. Yeah, someone's saying, I think it could work, but it wouldn't be very reliable. I mean, you can't check it.
Yeah.
You can't check the print. And we all know with 3D printers that you need to check the print.
And you just need to make sure that you know when somebody's printing with it so that you can send them a text message.
Yeah, so you just wreck their print.
Yep.
They just you get the text like projected onto the parts.
Just random layer of
It's like,
overhangs.
yes, sucked in. And do you think 3D printing would get faster? That's a really good question. It already is. It's just a different technology. 3D printing is a umbrella term for probably hundreds of technologies, I'd say.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So 3D FDM, you got one nozzle, you're slow. Polyjet printing, you have multiple nozzles, you're faster. And then the faster you can move that, the more areas you get. They've got machines that what was it, the even the early objects just have a row of stainless steel nozzles.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they just go.
Well, then you've also got like a lot of the resin technologies. If they're using a DLP or similar type of technology, they're doing the whole bed at once.
That's it. It's
So,
all at once. Yeah.
Whether you're printing a ring or a dozen rings, it's going to be the same print time. So it's in your best interest if you got the resin to just fill the bed.
Yeah, and we've got Carbon 3D, which uses the oxygen permeable membrane, so you just shine through that and just keeps growing.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely, it's going to get faster. Just not
FDM.
not these ones.
not in their current state.
No, not in their current iterations. Oh yeah, Null Zero is saying, hey Angus, is that a KUKA arm in the background of some of your vids? What do you use it for? I get asked this a lot. So, really short, long story made short. The KUKA arm was not mine. It was the university's that I was using the studio for. It was provided to the university by KUKA for free, but they didn't provide any software for it. So it was basically a really pretty prop. We did manage to make it move with, what do you call it, like, by hacking it, basically, overriding all the safety features, and it moved slightly, but yeah, look, it was just a prop. I wouldn't mind a KUKA, but I don't really have a use for it.
It would be really cool to have
It would be
one.
sick, though. It would be really cool. Devin's asking, do you think the $15 rolls of filament are any good?
Which ones?
Yeah, that's a good question, because we need to know what type it is.
I've honestly gotten $15 rolls off of Amazon, and it's hit and miss.
I printed with like $7 kilo filament that worked, and I printed with $50 kilo filament that didn't.
Yeah.
You're unlikely to run across filament that's just going to be flat out terrible these days, but it's not going to be as good as higher end stuff usually, because of fillers, because of spool accuracy and wind and blah blah blah.
Can you hand me that?
Which one?
The hat. That 3D print guy says, "Put your bloody hat on." Which you can't even see with this lighting.
No,
it's like completely blended
it's
out.
just
I'm
black.
wearing nothing. There, it's hanging out with us.
Yeah, right. Dalton's asking, what's the biggest thing you've printed? You've printed way bigger things than I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've been bothered getting them.
I've printed some big stuff.
shameless plug for Dustin. Go check out his channel and check out the Spiral Vase collab he did with Devon over
That
at
one's
Make
actually on
Anything.
his. Yeah, it's on his channel.
Oh, it's on his channel.
Yeah.
We'll go to your channel anyway. They're that big. They're just gigantic.
They're trash can size.
They're giganto. And
Like office trash
how long
cans.
do they take to print?
16 hours a piece. Because they were spiral vase.
That's pretty fast.
Yeah.
What's the best way to finish a PLA print?
I don't do that, so.
Okay, bit of backstory. I used to do, or I did an industrial design course. So, our job was to do functional or production or presentation prototypes. Basically, the only real way to finish anything is car filler, spray primer, sand, primer, sand, for ad nauseum. Days. And then you get a nice looking part.
And repeat.
And repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. Then paint, then repeat, then accidentally nick a corner. What was that?
Something that shouldn't be going off, actually. I don't even know how that came through.
I have no idea what that was.
I think XSplit messed up. That was a subscribe notification.
Okay. Maybe people are subscribing to you.
Yeah, but I don't know why it's coming through. Because it's not set up on the scene.
It's fine by me. Ritual is asking, what do you think about Simplify 3 not releasing any updates for so long? Cause for worry. As far as I know, there is a version 4 coming, and I have no further information, unfortunately. So, yeah, I don't know. I've just been told soon, basically.
It's been far too long.
It's been a while. It's been a very long time.
I mean...
And Slicer has caught up, which is a concern for them.
Yeah.
Because Slicer's fast. I mean, we've been using Slicer today on the Prusa,
Mm-hmm.
and the latest version that Joseph's, he hasn't pushed out, but his team's pushed out, Slicer's really fast. And works pretty decent. I mean, you've been tuning it a bit, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been working pretty well.
Mm.
It's just... If you look at the rate Prusa is putting out updates on that software, even major or minor, we've gotten one minor update in the last year for Simplify.
Yeah. I think it's a language update.
No, they added some machine profiles too.
Okay. Yeah, I think they've got a server that does the machine profiles now. But the thing that Slicer can't do is the customizable supports.
Yeah.
And that's just secret sauce. I mean, you don't always need it, but when you need it, it saves your life.
Oh, I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I hate printing with supports usually because it's not practical for what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So placing a few manual supports usually gets me through.
I mean, this model, if his head was like overhanging and you needed supports, you could just put a manual one there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you did generate supports, it's going to fill
Put
it
it
with
everywhere.
supports. So, if Joseph Prusa ever watches this stream, put manual supports in your darn software.
I didn't say that, Joseph.
I said it because I like it. I like the 3D infill.
He told me I have to program it if I say it one more time.
Oh, you've been asking him. See, people want.
I didn't say it.
People
He said
like
it.
manual supports. Doug's off. See you later, Doug.
Great stream, Angus. What will you be looking forward to seeing at most at Bay Area Maker Fair?
That's a good question. I literally have no idea what to expect from Bay Area Maker Fair. I've been to the Sydney Mini Maker Fair, but yeah, it's tiny and terrible compared to what these big ones are like. So
This is the biggest. It is the
That's why I had to
crown
come here.
jewels. It is the biggest.
That's why I had to come here. So I'm looking forward to seeing some new, next level tech, like stuff that hasn't been released yet. They've got the pre-production models out. I mean, I saw some of that in National Manufacturing Week, like the new HP 3D printer, which is pretty huge actually, bigger than this table. But the model they had on the trade show floor was a dummy. It was like, it wasn't real.
Oh,
It was
wow.
as I said, stand and make presentation models. It was a presentation model. But I'm keen to see some new stuff before everyone else.
Yeah, the only thing is we probably won't see any of that at Maker Fair.
Okay.
Because if we do, it'll be by some of the brands that we know or brands that are coming up. Because HP is too commercial.
Yeah, no, I'm not wanting to see HP. I'm more wanting to see like a new extruder design, or a new
definitely.
filament type, or a new nozzle, or just
Some
makery
advances
stuff.
of some
Yeah,
sort.
because as much as the HP thing's cool,
Mhm.
it's unreachable.
Oh yeah.
It's just like $500,000. I don't know. It's a lot.
You've got one coming, right?
Yeah, of course. I'll be reviewing it. Yeah, sure. HP, if you're watching. No, not really. Do you think 3D Systems will ever open their proprietary cartridges? No.
That's their money source.
Yeah, if you have a cube 3D if you have a cube from 3D Systems, let me know if it still works. I'd be interested to know, because as far as I understand, they discontinued everything, including support. As far as I know. I know not what I know. Mark from Pure Poly would be both at Matter Hackers and what's MFBA? Maker Faire. Oh, Bay Area.
Yeah.
I'm used to Banff. Yeah, no, Mark's an awesome guy, and actually, shout out to my sponsors. Mark from Pure Poly sponsored some of my trip to get here.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So actually, I'll do the sponsor spot because Mark from Pure Poly has been fantastic. Bruce from 3D Printing Systems in Auckland, he's been fantastic. Mark from X3D in Perth, Australia.
Wow.
He sponsored me to get here.
Jeez.
And Aleph Objects as well.
Aleph?
Aleph. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So because Core Electronics in Australia are going to be already resell the Lulzbots.
Oh, so the Lulzbots have come to Australia now.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So they got a reseller there. So, Aleph was like, hey, we'll sponsor you and you can call out to our Australian suppliers.
There you go.
There you go. So if you want a Lulzbot in Australia, hit up Core Electronics. And I like mentioning that because these guys have gotten me here.
Yeah, if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be here.
I literally, 2 months ago, I was like, I can't make Bay Area Maker Faire because I can't afford it.
Yeah, it's expensive.
The flights were $1.5 plus, $1,000 for coach class.
Oh man, that's horrible.
I know. Anyway, Makers Muse, do you think there will ever be a truly affordable, consumer-friendly 3D printer, and if so, how soon?
What?
That's a good question. Consumer-friendly, I don't believe consumers...
Affordable and consumer-friendly is not going to be in the right...
No, it will be one day, but I don't think consumers need a 3D printer at this stage. I strongly believe that someone who needs a 3D printer will put up with some quirks because they're already used to manufacturing technologies. Consumers aren't. They want, the thing to go and all the magic electronic smoke inside to stay in and work. And that's fine, but I don't think 3D printers are going to get to that for ages. I mean, even inkjet printers do paper jams.
Yeah, laser printers do.
Yeah. They stuff up, and you have to fix them. So, 3D printers will do failed prints, 100%. They'll continue to. You got just to put a perspective on it, guys. You can buy a SLS for $800,000, and you'll still get failed prints a lot.
There you go.
Yep. You can reuse the powder maybe 3 times that you don't sinter. You have to throw the rest away. Someone got another subscriber. I think this is a Dustin subscriber.
I'm just gonna mute all the system audio and see if I don't even know where it's coming from. I have nothing open that would come from.
So I'll keep you saying yes we do. So I assume you're saying yes we do need a consumer 3D printer. And the Cube Pro still has support. Yes, the Cube Pro does still have support, guys. I'm talking about the cubes. The cubes that a cubified ecosystem just got killed off overnight. Those machines. Cube Pro's still supported, yeah.
Jat, do you like Pokemon? I'm too old for that.
I love Pokemon, but I am too old to play.
Pokemon seriously was becoming popular after I was already done with school. So
yeah, it was getting pretty big when I was in school. Like the Game Boy Color came out when I was in year 6, year 5. So that was next level. You were the cool kid when you had one. I didn't have one. We just watched the kids play it. It was pretty sad.
I didn't have one either. If it makes you feel any better.
Yeah, no. And now I could get them for $10. Apt Pupil is saying my Cube 3 works well, just expensive cartridges. So I bought an A8. Okay. Fair enough. You could probably just retrofit electronics into it, to be honest. If you got an A8 going, you could probably fix your Cube 3 by putting another control board in it and just chuck away the stupid cartridges.
So somebody, I missed their name, said shout out to Joel Telling for the 100K. That's freaking awesome, dude.
Joel has absolutely smashed it and absolutely deserves his massive subscriber count because he's just so good to watch.
Oh yeah.
I told him the other night he could talk about anything, and it'd be interesting to watch.
Yeah, he's just got that. I don't know, the presenter personality and the voice and everything. It's just he could be explaining quite literally anything, and it's gonna be entertaining to watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just got that he's just got that ability.
I forgot what I said he should talk about. I might give him Tim Tams. I might film a video of Joel talking about Tim Tams.
You gotta make him review.
Review the Tim Tams.
Yes.
Oh god. It's done.
It's done.
Joel, if you ever see this, you're in for that on Wednesday. Rella82, thank you for the $5. I've been failing prints all day.
Oh, that sucks. We all have those days.
If you guys ever have those days where your prints are just failing all the time, go back in my old videos and search the sounds of 3D printing failure. Basically, I'd got my only 3D printer and I subjected it to just all the things that fail, and I recorded with a really good condenser mic the sounds. So basically, it's the sound of prints detaching, the sounds of nozzles jamming, the sounds of collisions.
Oh wow!
It's like torture.
That poor machine.
Because you can tell, like if that machine was going and it was like slipping, you can tell.
Yeah, you can hear it.
Yeah.
You can you can hear which machine it is if you have multiple ones running.
Yeah.
You get used to each machine and what they sound like, and whenever something's slightly off, you can tell.
Yeah. So it's a whole video of that.
That's horrible.
Joel's playing a funny game on Twitch right now. No way.
Let's see what's going on Twitch.
Alright, he's busy now. Yeah, people are saying Joel's voice is amazing. It's so good.
He's playing with he's trying to set up with Twitch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Joel's voice is like Markiplier. He's really good. Lady Muse is saying Vegemite is the devil. I didn't bother bringing Vegemite to the US because I knew none of these pansies would actually try it.
Most of us don't even know what it is other than it's in a song. It was so bad that there was a radio station once that I was listening to that played the song, and then the DJ came back on and said, "We actually looked this up because we had no idea what it was. Apparently it's part of a sandwich."
So, okay. So
that's all we know about it.
So imagine you're brewing beer, right? And you got all the hops and yeast and whatever, and you're doing the brew, and you got the massive vat. So after the vat and the yeast has done its job, there's all this crap at the bottom, sludge. That's how they make Vegemite. It's yeast extract.
What? Let's make beer. Okay, you know what? Let's just make a sandwich now.
Let's just put this sludge that's in the vat on our toast and see what. Yeah, it tastes all right. You know.
Jeez. That's horrible.
Oh dear. I'll get you to try it one day.
No.
What's your favourite filament brand? My favourite filament brand is the one I've got that's closest to me and works.
The one within reach.
Yeah. The one that I can that's already on the printer. Have you tried the MP Select Mini version 2?
MP Select Mini version 2? I have one. He hasn't been able to use it because it's currently out of commission right now because the bed was completely warped when I unboxed it, and it gouged the print surface that was on it, which wasn't even build tag. It was like a generic build tag. It was similar composition, but it was like 3 times thicker than build tag. So when it came off, it was like a plate.
What?
Yeah. And the double-sided tape that was holding it down just like plastered across the aluminum heated bed.
Oh dear.
And I've got to get some cleaning agent or something to take it
Oh,
off.
that's what that crap is.
Yeah, it's the double-sided tape.
Yeah.
This Chinese double-sided tape, it won't come off.
It won't come off. It just sludges
makes a
everywhere.
mess. So I've not had a chance to clean that up.
That's terrible. Does anyone?
That's not an appetizing sounding food.
It's really rich in vitamin B something.
Be something.
I'm not sure which one it is. Does anyone have a craft bot? Yeah, I did. No, I still do. Go to the review of it, Craftbot Plus. As I said, it's a good screen. Print quality is okay. Would you recommend an auto bed leveler? I have to say, I've become really lazy now they exist. Like, you just let it go around, and just as an example of that, on my Prusa, I do the Z compensation, and it's like -1 point something.
Which is outside of the range of recommendation on its manual.
Because I can't be bothered changing the encoder, the induction sensor.
Oh,
I just adjust it. And it still works perfectly.
To be fair, I actually only have auto leveling on my Mark II. Well, and the machine right here that is very expensive. The Make It has auto leveling. But
Yeah.
other than that...
How much is that i3? That's an i3, by the way.
It's a very large one, to be fair.
It's a big i3.
And it's all metal.
Mm.
Completely. That's about a $4,000 machine.
It's got zip ties.
There's one interesting thing about that, though.
Mm.
It's got a BuildTak type surface. It's not real BuildTak. And it's on a metal sheet
That's
that is
cool.
removable. That's the handle.
That's how you break it.
But it's got a removable sheet that is stainless
Hey, okay.
or something magnetic. It's got a mirror finish, and it's flexible.
That's pretty cool.
This was out before the flexible BuildTak, like a year or two. They've had this
Wonder
forever.
who had the idea first.
Who knows? But they've got their own name on it.
That's true.
But it's similar composition.
That's cool.
That's
Is it dual? Yeah, it's dual extruder.
yeah, but that's glued on PT or PV
PVE.
PV
PVA.
PVA. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it there. I'll put it back later. It's magnetic though. Very strong.
There you go. This is fun. What else we got? People are still talking about Vegemite.
Oh wow.
Vegemite versus Marmite. I actually don't know the differences. Marmite's not very big in Australia.
I don't even know what that one is.
Someone's saying, yep, stainless. Yes, you can have magnetic stainless. It does exist. You absolutely can. Oh, that's a good question. Hey, Angus, I know Eora 3D is based in your neck of the woods. Do you have any opinion of the campaign on Kickstarter? They've gone quiet. Last year, in August, I think, I was at the Maker Fair and they were next to me and they had these prototypes and they had a few iterations. Really beautiful things like machined and sandblasted aluminium.
Aluminium.
But I haven't heard anything since. They were going to lend one to me to review, but I don't know what's going on with them. Maybe they're having trouble with the calibration. I mean, you are trying to calibrate a laser and a camera perfectly to work out the distortions.
Oh,
So,
wow.
I don't know. Well, I do know that the bevel has come out now, and it's terrible. Well, okay, it's a 3D selfie thing, not a 3D scanner.
Oh,
It's
man.
not useful for any practical 3D scanning applications. Ah, it's Calvin. Thank you, Calvin. You really didn't have to do that. I do appreciate it, though. Pitch in to help through expenses statewide. That pays for the in-nut.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Running your lattice torture thing on Thingomatic. That's pretty cool. I love how he runs the Thingomatic.
He is like
That's
been
badass.
rebuilding that machine. It's like twice the machine it ever could have been before.
If you're new to 3D printing and you don't know what the MakerBot Thingomatic is, go research it. It's a bit of history, actually. It's like the first attempt at a desktop 3D printer. It's a kit. It's terrible. I mean, it's laser cut plywood, but it's awesome as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
It had a stationary Z-axis.
Yeah, it was really strange.
Weird.
And the bed was, and they used to make these sort of noises, like
Just grinding everywhere.
inefficient as. Oh, Eddie, thank you. Buy a few beers on me, man. Have a great trip. Oh, I've got this stuff.
That'll cover that almost.
Yeah. Alcohol's so cheap in America. It's ridiculous.
I was showing him some top shelf stuff, and he's like, "That's how much I pay for regular."
Yeah. Yeah, the Australian taxes on alcohol are absolutely phenomenal. How many kits have you assembled? Oh, that's a good question. I think I've done 5 now. No, not 5, probably 4. The JG Aurora, one I haven't reviewed yet. The TiVo, and the Moai, I think.
I'm at 4, 5 and a half. I'm at 5.5.
What's the half?
FT5.
It's over there. It'll get done.
Is it a big machine?
It's massive. It's a table.
Literally,
Yeah,
it's as
I-
tall as this table sitting on the floor.
Someone's asking how much is the Vinique. It wasn't much. It was like $15. If that.
And that was probably after taxes.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell are you drinking? Liquid polyalchemy. I'm not going to show the label again, but I will show the sheen because it's just awesome. There you go.
It's just like floating in spirals. It's really cool.
Yeah. It's so cool. It's liquid polyalchemy. It literally is.
Just edible.
Yeah. It's JG Aurora A3, surprisingly good prints. Yes and no. Wait for the review. I need to edit it tomorrow. It's got a huge flaw. Massive flaw.
Really?
Yeah. The sheet metal frame has lots of torsion where the bed is.
That's
You can
strange.
rock it and the bed stays stationary. You'll
That's
see what I
odd.
mean. You'll see what I mean.
That's odd.
It's got some surprising design choices. It's sheet metal, 3D printed parts, machined aluminium, and injection molded parts. And they're just interchangeable. I think they started with the 3D printing and then slowly improved them because the 3D printed parts weren't good enough.
Just do the whole kit.
Yeah. Yeah. Rella, I still have my Cobblebot in a box.
I've heard of at least 2 people that have gotten that thing completed, but it took them over a year to build it.
Cobblebot is a interesting history lesson into the wonderful wide world of Kickstarter campaigns. You should check it out if you're ever interested in backing campaigns to see what can go wrong. And horribly.
Yeah, like a kit with no directions and a box of parts.
Yeah. Oh, Moosuit LLC, $20. Thank you. That's awesome. Angus, it's Jeff, one of your patrons. Love the channel and have a great time over here in the States. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. And Lady Muse. Why are you doing this? You just gave Google money. Remember to shave that chin scrub. I will. I'll shave the bum fluff off.
He's in the US. He's gonna grow it out.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I can't grow a beard.
You're not gonna idle. You're not gonna copy Brooke.
Can't. Oh no.
Oh.
It just gets more and more spotty.
What does your logo mean?
What does my logo mean?
Mm-hmm.
A good logo should be...
No, what does yours mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm saying, I'm giving you a justification. A good logo should be kind of vague so that the people who look at it come up with their own ideas of what it means.
I always thought your logo looked like mountains. But
Yeah.
that's because we have them here.
It kind of looks like Australia. It kind of looks like an M.
It does.
And it kind of looks like a nozzle.
Yeah, it does.
There you go. Vague.
Very vague now.
But vague enough to be protected, I hope. We'll see.
Lady Muse, worth it.
Worth it. Thank you. Thank you, Lady Muse. Holding the fort back in Australia. Old Aussie. What else we got? Hey, is the 3D printer... Oh, the Start by iMaker. Is that a good printer? For fidget spinners? Please answer. Really want to know, is it good?
I've heard very mixed things about that machine.
It's a kit. Look, you are literally throwing the dice. With your ability to assemble a kit, the quality of the parts... I mean, the quality of the parts between the Prusa kit that Dustin got and the Prusa kit I got was different. And they're a good kit. The quality of parts you're going to get off a $99 kit is going to be wildly different.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. If you don't have the ability to print parts to replace the crap parts you may get, you may end up with a box of parts that you never turn into a printer.
Yeah, you might have to buy a printer just to finish building it.
Just to finish it. Or it may be fantastic, but probably it's going to take a while to get to the fantastic point. And really, if you're getting into fidget spinners now, you've probably missed the boat.
Yeah, because
we saw them at the Asian marketplace for cheap, and they were metal.
And they're cheating now.
Yeah, they don't use bearings on the outside rings. They just use like metal plugs.
They were just like metal slugs.
They were just really badly machined as
They
well.
weren't even washers or anything. They were just metal slugs, casted even.
Which is one trend in 3D printing you're ready to end? Doesn't have to be spinners. Well, probably would be spinners, but I don't know. What's a trend that you don't like?
I would just say the misconceptions and misinformation.
Yeah.
Because I honestly don't mind the trends of different hot prints of the week or the month or the season or whatever.
Look,
It's just repetitive, but everybody's printing these. Well, there's a lot of people.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like everybody's trying it out.
Yeah, and if you're printing just like another Groot or a spinner
Mhm.
or something like that, you're learning stuff. That's totally fine. I have no issues with that. I would say what I want to see ended is the propagation of dangerous firmware. Actually,
Oh, definitely.
so not many people would know that they're buying a kit. Probably the start would have this. I don't know. I haven't tried it, but they may have low temperature thermal runaway disabled. What does that mean? It means if your thermistor on your hot end comes loose, it detects, oh, my temperature's dropping. I'll pump current into the heater. Oh, the temperature's not raising. I'll pump current into the heater. I'll keep pumping current into the heater. Till literally, and someone did do a video on this, the aluminium melts.
Mm-hmm.
It actually melts, sets fire to everything, and very likely will start a fire. So there is a really simple bit of code in Marlin that you can turn on that goes, oh, we're not getting any temperature raise that we should be seeing while pumping current into this thing. We're going to send the min temp error, which is what the Mark II does. It can be annoying sometimes, but means it's safe. What have we missed? Oh, man, we should have been scrolling.
No, there's one you should probably get rid of.
Oh, which one?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. You can go away. Block. Bye-bye.
No more mini printers.
No more mini printers.
There's a niche for them, but there's a limit to what you can do with them. I think printers like the Hobby King, Fabricator Mini, and like the Filament Mini, and there's another one. What's the other one? I think those are the smallest ones.
Yeah.
Those ones, it's very hard to do pretty much anything practical.
I think
the build volume is like 2 benchies and that's it, or a single
Yeah.
fidget spinner,
I think the limit of a small useful volume is about 100 probably, I'd say.
which is about the MP Select Mini.
Yeah. Yeah. The Up Mini, which I had for years, had a 120 max. And I printed tons of useful stuff on that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But 80? It's just so much smaller.
Unless it prints really well right to the edge, that's like the minimum volume that you need for printing.
Yeah. And that's going to be probably not the case because you'll be running into errors with hitting the edge of the nozzle and lining up bed level and I don't know. Yeah. So people are asking why would they disable safety measures or even test them? Because their machines can't hold to the safety measures. They can't maintain a reliable temperature and it throws off the alarm. So like, I'll disable the alarm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not all of them, but there's a lot of them that either the heaters can't keep up with the heating or the sensors aren't able to sense correctly, so the temperatures are bouncing like crazy, and instead of it just triggering random failed prints or triggering the machine to stop, they just disable it so the machine keeps going and
Yeah.
works its way through it.
Yeah, and that's bad. But the issue is it gets passed along through lines. China works in mysterious ways. You get machines like the Wanhao, then you get machines like the Malian. They're basically clones of each other. But, as far as I understand, the Wanhao's got a safer firmware than the Malian. And, then the Malian's going to pass on that generation of firmware to the other ones. And it's an easy fix, but people just don't know it. And people should assume when they buy a machine that's safe. Like, it should be... I mean, I did. The Up Mini was always safe. If you damage your heater, it says, temp error. It stops. And that was 4 years ago.
Wow.
So, it's a recent thing. Recent trend. JTTV was saying, I'm not a fan of design tutorials from people who don't have a background in design and learned it an hour before. What's your take on that?
It depends.
I actually encourage people to stream stuff they're learning because then it encourages them to learn new things and shows other people that it's actually possible to learn new things. I'm pretty keen for that.
It shows people that not everybody's perfect too.
No, yeah, absolutely. I go out of my way to show mistakes on my channel.
Yeah.
Because I'm not perfect. I make mistakes.
I mean, if you're completely showing like this is the absolutely wrong way of doing things and you're oblivious to it, then you're passing misinformation.
Yeah.
But you're showing a way that it might possibly work. So
I think the key is when you're doing something and you don't know what you're doing, don't pretend you do know what you're doing.
yeah.
Don't say this is the way to do something and the the gospel truth. Be like, hey, let's learn this together. Let's
Or,
try this.
This is the way I figured out how to do it.
Yeah, which is what Joel's been doing. You know, Joel's been doing fidget spinners, and each time he does a fidget spinner video, he's getting better at Fusion.
Oh yeah, and like even enterprise software, we've both used SolidWorks.
Yeah.
He would design something completely different than the way I would do it.
Yeah, it's an interface, not a a very rigid, fixed approach. You can design things very differently in multiple softwares.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine. There we go. What else we got? What do you think about the Trinus printer? I only ever had a pre-production Trinus, and mine was okay, but actually outdated. What do you reckon of yours? What do you think about yours?
I've had a mixed experience with mine. Mine has been out of the box and assembled. It printed very well, but I suddenly developed some very strange issues, and they think that I might have had a defective controller, so they sent me a new one, but I haven't had a chance to swap it out yet. But it's I'm wondering if we induced the issue ourselves.
How's that?
With the enclosure, because mine's a special case. It's got a heated bed add-on, and it's got an enclosure.
Right.
So I'm wondering if maybe that controller board is susceptible to heat.
Probably. Electronics don't like heat.
Right.
That's why we have cooling systems.
And surprisingly, that little tiny heated bed is ultra efficient.
Jeez. Okay.
And it heated up the whole chamber.
Yeah. That's the big thing. I mean, if you look at Stratasys, Fortis systems, I was looking at them at the trade show. They have the extruder, and then a whole system above it with the motors, and then a baffle system, which protects the motors from the heat.
Oh wow!
And the baffles move with the gantry. It encloses the whole thing.
Oh wow!
And there's a patent on that. So you can have the motors in the chamber, but you can't have the motors external to the chamber because that whole baffle crap is patented.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So yeah, I think putting any sort of electronics in a heated box is a bad idea. It's a stress test.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we used to do when I was working in electronics. We'd put our circuits in a heated box to see if they'd break. Yeah, absolutely. Because often components fail at a higher temperature than when they left the factory.
Mm-hmm.
Because things move, things change, all that sort of thing. Get down for what, Angus? Where are you? I am. I think Lady Muse just asked to answer that. Yeah, California. Woo!
Which is very big.
Yeah. I always thought like they were smaller states. My geography, I failed geography pretty much. I didn't continue it. And that was Australian geography. We've only got a few states. Connor was asking, what do you think of the MakerBot Replicator 5th Gen?
I honestly haven't seen it.
Yeah, actually, before, I would have said, don't touch it. And I'm not saying buy it now, but I will say it's not the same machine. They may have called it the MakerBot 6th Gen, because it was at the trade show, and they had the MakerBot booth, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll go over and check it out. It's a different machine, it's different design, different bed size, it's a bigger bed, different extruder design. They've changed everything in it. It's quieter, but it's still PLA only. The extruder's still like, open it up and you void the warranty. Print with anyone else's filament, you void the warranty. And the print's still kind of warped off the bed, because it's not heated.
Why did they ever go away from the heated bed?
It's easier.
The original ones
cheaper.
had it.
Well, I mean, the bed pulls out, it's nice, but I don't know why. Anyway, it's a different machine. It works now, but you can get a lot more for your money. I mean, it's $5,000 Australian.
That's fairly expensive. That's putting it up against the Ultimaker.
Yeah, I tend to judge machines based on what I can get multiples of. So, like, say the Up Mini, for example, Up Mini 2, that's probably about 1,000 Australian. So five Up Mini 2s. I can do an awful lot more with 5 Up Mini 2s than I can with one one MakerBot.
Well, I've got to be a devil's advocate because my Ultimaker is one of my favorite machines that I've used ever. But I've also built machines that print almost just as well on a quarter of the budget.
Yeah. Again, though, keyword built.
Right.
Not buy. You're going to buy an Ultimaker, you expect quality. If that machine doesn't print the most perfect benchy out of the box, you take it straight back. Because that's not worth $6,000 or whatever it is in Australia.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, around there.
Yeah. Same with the MakerBot. If you're a school and you buy it and you want easy prints and it's not giving you easy prints, you return that crap. But if it's giving you good prints and it's easier because your time is money, then there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not our demographic, I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the main sticking point. We don't see the value in it
Right.
because it's not our demographic.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't buy it as individuals, that's for sure. Except J-Wall. He kind of likes his 5th jet now. Oh,
That's
man.
nice.
I love that guy.
J-Wall's awesome. Shout out to him.
He's a champ. For PLA only, does a heat bed really need to be added? It depends.
It can only help.
It helps, and size is important. Like, I'd say up to about 150, 160, you can get away with it if you're using good adhesives and you have a good bed. Any bigger, yeah, I'd say you still kind of need it.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're using glue sticks and stuff, in which case your print really sticks and you gotta, like, whack it off.
Yeah, you would have a hard time getting off the build bed.
Yeah, absolutely.
When are you gonna review the Olo?
That's the second question of the Olo about the Olo.
The answer? If it exists and it's sent to anybody.
I should go up to the stand and be like, hey, I'm Angus. I run a YouTube channel about 3D printing. Would you like me to review your product? And they'll be like, I remember you. You're that bastard that analyzed our campaign. And be like, yes, I am. Would you like me to review your real product? Your very real existing product.
Did they ever promise you a review unit?
No, I never asked. They saw my video and then came back with all the counterpoints. I made a response and said, counter my counterpoints. And they didn't.
Oh, that's bad.
But they got lots of money, so I'm sure they've got a product on the way.
Would you like to review the Snap Maker later this year? To you.
That was a Kickstarter campaign, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's very similar to the Trinus.
The Trinus, yeah. Slightly more refined.
Mm-hmm.
Look, that company hasn't at all reached out to me.
I don't think they've reached out to anybody. I covered them on my show and I never even heard from them.
Yeah, I've been in touch with Kodama, who make the Trinus. It's not them. So, whether it's a real machine or a rip-off, I have no idea. But at this stage, no. No. It's just another small format printer. There's nothing different about it that makes it interesting. The 3D Systems $5,000 Cube Pro doesn't have a heated bed. Yeah. Isn't that meant to do nylon? Supposedly?
I don't follow the cubes.
I don't either.
They had their own ecosystem, so I wasn't interested.
Yeah. I'm not at all interested in proprietary cartridges. Like, we've been burnt with inkjets. I don't care. If your machine has a proprietary cartridge, you really have to sell it. That's the best done machine I've ever seen. Otherwise, you're not going to be interesting.
And we've already been burned by the Cube series. We've been burned by XYZ.
All of them.
Yeah.
And I know if I reviewed a printer and it had cartridges and it was like an okay 3D printer, but it had, cartridges. All of you guys would be like, this is crap because it's got cartridges. Because that's the only, if it prints the same as another machine, there's no benefit. The idea of a cartridge system, ideally in an ideal world, is to make everything so reliable and consistent that you never have to worry about any sort of changing parameters. But they're only doing it for money reasons. Because Filament is pretty consistent now. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than it used to be, that's for sure.
Christian? Formbot T-Rex 2? I haven't heard too much about that one.
I've only know of one person. Oh, wait, the 2. I didn't know they had a 2 out.
Oh, there we go.
I've only known one person that had the Formbot T-Rex, but I didn't realize it was a 2 out.
It's like a G-Max kind of thing?
Yeah, it's like China's version of a G-Max.
China G-Max.
The one I saw was doing good prints, but he did have to do some maintenance to it to get it going.
Yeah. Yeah, most machines from China, you usually get a machine that works, but then you need to
refine
it, make it better. Livet was asking, will I be releasing an updated guide this year? I am releasing an ebook very shortly that's got heaps of 3D printing tips, and I'm moving from ebooks to a different format, which you'll see more of soon. But yeah, that book's still completely relevant. It doesn't have any printer recommendations at all. Don't expect that. It's just how to break down what to choose. Bed size, material capabilities, format of the gantries, frame assembly types. It's just all the different parameters you need to consider, not what machines you get. Because there's no way I can recommend that, because it changes every 5 seconds.
Not to mention, you don't know what they want.
No, exactly. I know, you guys might have a budget of, $500, and you want a machine that's really reliable. I'd be like, well, looking at the triangle of cost, speed, and quality, well, you don't have much money, and you want quality, well, you're going to get a kit and spend ages on it, because you're going to spend lots of speed on it. You're not going to be very fast. So that's how it's designed. You have to make a balance.
It's like creating a character in a game. You only have
It's
a maximum
exactly
number
it.
of points to
You only
spend.
have so many points. That's a fantastic analogy.
I was just thinking about that.
That's really
because
good.
The more points you put in any one direction, the more it shifts. You can have awesome quality, but it's a kit, or you can have poor quality. Yeah, it's a point system.
Yeah,
on
it is a point system
on a character.
That's so funny. Lady Muse, can you draw that? Like making a printer character, and you have points, and it's like ease of use, cost, and like speed. So it's like a really, really pretty machine that's cheap. The speed's like slug.
Yeah.
And Lady Muse is laying down the band hammer. Thank you very much.
Way to go, Lady Muse.
I do appreciate it.
I need to find me someone like that.
You need to find you a Lady Muse.
Yeah.
Do I ever intend on finishing the 404 villain? Perhaps making it better than a hero? Yeah, that's a good question. I really want to finish doing a printer design. Finding the time for it has been impossible so far. Finding time for anything's becoming a challenge.
Totally.
Alright. I did design some stuff, but seeing the power you get out of those geared steppers, I don't think it can use them. I think they're just too crap. Like, I couldn't bring myself to use them for motion components.
You gotta go with like a NEMA 14 or better.
Which are the same price as a NEMA 17.
I know.
So you may as well go with NEMA 17. Which means you end up with a Rostock Mini.
Pretty much. Or a Cossel.
Or a Cossel Mini, yeah. So that's, I do want to finish a printer design. What were we talking about in your stream?
Community source
The community
design.
source design. Yeah, I'll restart now. There, how about you don't do that, you stupid Windows 10. Anyway. So in Dustin's stream the other night, we talked about community-generated 3D printers. So the idea would be, we start a poll with each major design iteration, and then you guys choose what design route we go down, and then we end up with a printer that everyone's designed.
But
so,
there would be a catch.
What's the catch?
That each design choice has a flaw or implementation that we implement as well. So it's like, if you're trying to choose the most expensive component, there's going to be something that's going to be cut that'll degrade it. Or
We should set an overall budget, actually.
Yeah.
So if they spend all their money on like motion components, it's going to be driven by like a ramps, or like
made out of PVC.
PVC. Yeah. If they spend all their money on like a touch screen, it's gonna just use like piece of crap gears, motors, and stuff.
Maybe you will be using those stepper motors. They're gonna put a duet in there and drive those stepper motors.
Yeah, the only option left would be turnip. Vote for turnip. That's an inside joke.
I missed that last one. The very last one.
The question.
Oh, she got it.
Alright. Cocoon Create Touch, what do you guys think? Again, guys, that machine is the Wanhao i3 Plus, which I have reviewed. So, yeah. It's a good machine.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike a creator, it says we all need a Lady Muse in our lives. What can you say?
Well, how can you go wrong with having automated voice for all the questions?
Automated voice.
Auto filters questions.
Yeah, she's being a badass. Badass. Oh yeah, with the drawing of things. I guess I could, my rates. I do know her rates. If anyone wants a freelance illustration done, hit me up and I'll put you in touch.
Awesome.
Hey Angus, are you excited for the Prusa multi-material upgrade? When it arrives, it's a little bit overdue, Joseph.
To be fair, I heard
it's
within about 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah,
That he pushed out a major update on it.
that's cool. It's a tricky idea. It's a tricky concept. I mean, there's so much that can go wrong. Even though it looks simple, the retract, it's so easy to retract stuff that won't go forwards again.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
you have to run similar materials, and you have to tune for each material type that you're using, or brand even. Because
Exactly.
you could dial it in for one brand and work flawless. Replace one spool and put some other brand in it. It could screw up your whole configuration.
Oh, we've all used PLA that pulls that really cleanly, and with PLA that pulls that with a huge spider web behind it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, and that's PLA.
And that's a Bowden nightmare.
That's a yeah, that's it.
Which his multi extruder system is Bowden.
Yeah, so you're gonna end up with little bits of stuff, and
You might never purge it completely because you'll have that piece of string that's just pulling on endlessly.
that's right. It'd be like toothpaste. It'd be dragging it through. Yeah.
So you're running white with like a strip of blue going through it, so it's gonna be randomly bluish color everywhere.
Yeah. I got to say, I did see something really cool at the back of the Stratasys system. So the back of the Fortis 350MC at the trade show had a Y loop, so not loop, like a Y coupler, and single into the machine. It had two spools. One was here parked with a motor. One was here feeding, and this one had they both had little switches. When this one ran out and stopped feeding, it retracted this one completely, so you lost about 50 centimeters of plastic. Then this one fed up the Y tube, and the machine went to keep printing.
See that kind of stuff makes sense.
Yeah, so you can hot swap spools.
Yeah, it's
So you just
production,
change. Yeah, production.
but it's not multicolor.
But it's not multicolor.
It's production.
Because that's kind of what Joseph is doing, but right at the extruder.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not retracting filament to change, and then you can purge it. It's like right at the end, and you're trying to force the melted bit back in. That's the hard part.
Yeah, because you gotta get it to pull clean.
You got yeah, exactly. That's the tricky part.
Chaos Cortec had a good question. It scrolled by already.
Oh, okay, let's go back up. Where is Garrett? There he is. Have you guys seen the Linus Tech Tips Scrapyard Wars? They basically build a PC with parts they find from random places. You should do that with 3D printers. I love the Scrapyard Wars series. It's sick. They've done heaps so far. And yes, I would love to do that, actually. And we were talking about it in Home Depot, actually, building a printer from random bits.
It was pretty interesting because we were talking about building printers from the hardware store, kind of glossing over the Rip Rap project, which it's where it originated, was the hardware store. It was everything that was readily available at your local supplies, basically.
Exactly.
And it was just pretty interesting because we started walking around, it was like, oh, there's that component, there's that component, there's that component.
Yeah, you got the threaded rods that made the original Prusa.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Mendel? The original
Mendels,
Mendel. So yeah, you could, but there's some components you can't find.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not gonna find an extruder block. You're not gonna find a control board.
Mm-hmm.
So you might find steppers if you like went to like a electronics disposal store.
Well, you can find them at electronics in general, but you're just not going to find them from your general hardware
Not for a
store
good
or
price
anything.
either.
Yeah.
So you're more likely going to want to do a sort of challenge where the frame and motion components are all found, and then you've just got a set build of parts.
Yeah, like the motion system and the framing and everything. You source that separately.
So then you try to build it out of whatever you can get your hands on.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. It's just, again, time.
Yeah.
I don't have time. We're not as big as Linus Tech Tips yet. Maybe one day.
We don't have a team helping now.
No, he's got a team of like 14, 15 people now. Like, I don't...
Holy
this
cow.
Humongous team. He's the boss.
Read the script. Stand on camera.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's what he wanted to do, but that's what he's starting to do. Yeah, Jay Philosopher is saying you can't find good M3 screws at Home Depot or Lowe's. Yeah, metric in Home Depot. That's going to be fun.
They do have them, just not the whole range that we would need.
Yeah.
Because they have them individual and stuff in bags.
Oh, you might find them in Fry's, I reckon.
You might if they have the robotic stuff.
Because, no, it'd be the computer stuff. A lot of computer stuff uses M3.
But then you only got like one size.
Yeah.
You got a little tiny screw.
Yeah. In Australia, they're very easy to find.
We found that Home Depot only has Imperial threaded rods.
Yeah, and in Australia, you can only really buy Imperial threaded rods. So that's not too unusual to me.
You guys
and it has the same
system.
colours on the ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Bunnings sells only good drill bits in Imperial sizes. We have both. Yeah, we have both.
So your metrics like cheap China stuff? Okay.
But it's all made in China. The Hockey's saying, could you provide me with help on printing 30mm miniatures? I'm finding support difficult to remove. Should I cut the mesh up into chunks be better? Would cutting the mesh up into chunks be better? That's tiny. I don't know if you're using SLA or FDM.
I hope he's not using FDM.
Because FDM's going to be impossibly too coarse for that.
You couldn't do it without soluble support.
No.
With like 100%.
You have to use soluble supports.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you try and cut it into chunks, it's going to be even harder to put together.
Mm.
I would say that's really an SLA job. And then you use the breakaway pin supports.
Print all the fasteners.
Print. You kind of can. There's some things you can get away with.
Yeah, you can print like M4 socket screws and stuff.
Yeah.
Can't really go much smaller though.
Yeah, no, M4's already too small.
Yeah.
And it's gonna break along the layers. It's gonna delaminate. Is it possible to print bacon and its delicious smoky taste? Joel tried.
Joel tried.
Check out Joel's bacon video. He tried. It wasn't quite what he hoped for.
It smelled good while I was printing.
Did it?
That's what he said.
It was faking though.
Yeah.
Fake bacon.
But the bacon still smells good sometimes. Depending on the brand.
There definitely is going to be filaments that will have flavors. Not flavors. Maybe they will have flavors.
Let's print this up like it.
Yeah, with scents. I've got a video coming soon of one, but yeah. I'm not sure the use of it would be.
Yeah, I think lingering scent would be kind of neat. Because then you could do like air fresheners or something.
Yeah. It has to be a really good smell though.
Yeah.
Not something obnoxious.
Yeah, I don't know if bacon air freshener would make much sense.
No.
You would always be hungry.
You'd always want to eat it. You'd always go to what was that bacon hamburger place?
50-50.
Yeah,
Slater's 50-50.
Slater's 50-50s.
You guys, does he need to go Slater's 50-50?
They'll probably say yes. Vegemite filament. Which
Ooh.
is saying Vegemite filament.
Marshmallows.
Marshmallow filament.
Buttered popcorn. I do agree with that one, Practical.
Buttered popcorn filament. That'd smell good.
That would smell good.
That would smell really good.
If popcorn could pop all day without having to worry about being wasteful or burning it or trying to figure out how to throw it all away, I would probably run it.
Yeah.
Just have popcorn popper. Just
You wouldn't want
running
to
in the
waste it.
background. Yeah. Maybe if I could like donate it by the bag full. Trash can bag full.
JTV is saying, Angus, can you convince JAT.MN to get a Flexion extruder? He needs to understand how amazing they are. They're pretty good, but I don't know what machine you put it on. It's
For
a
which
Mark
one?
10 style.
The Flexion?
Yeah.
Me?
Well, yeah. What machine would you put it on?
I couldn't. That was one of my problems.
That was the problem. He has
All
no
my machines are
machines
Bowdens.
that would fit the Flexion.
The only one that could potentially take one would be the Mark II if I completely modified the print head, or the FT5 once I get it going. It actually uses the same kind of extruder.
Oh, you can do it in the FT5, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, the Flexion's amazing, but if you're not doing flexibles,
It's not really
it's
worth it.
really expensive upgrade. It's
Yeah,
gorgeous.
that's true.
It's
Very
gorgeous.
expensive upgrade.
But if you're just doing PLA, it's not worth it. But if you're doing flexibles, it's amazingly worth it. So it's really, really niche.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah. Eddie was asking Angus with Tarantula, Little Monster, and Prussia, what now? I'm not sure what he's asking.
I don't either.
Are you asking you've got the Prussia and a Little Monster, what to get now? I think you've got all bases covered, to be honest. And I haven't tried the Little Monster, so I can't really comment on it, unfortunately. Sorry.
Burnt popcorn filament. Yum.
Burnt popcorn.
KFC.
Kai, where do you buy all your filament in Australia? Got my first printer. I was wondering what the best place to get high quality filaments in all different types. Well, you just asked two questions. Where do you buy my filament from when you want to get high quality filament? So, I buy cheap crap because if I want to buy filament, I don't really care. So I buy it from Hobby King usually, and they've got their in-house Hobby King brand, which is cheap and okay. If you want quality stuff, you're looking more at Polymaker which is amazing stuff. I'm not sure who sells Polymaker in Australia. There is a reseller. Not so much a shout out to my sponsors, but I think Bruce over at 3D Printing Systems may sell Polymaker. I think he has it. Otherwise, Esun PLA Plus I've heard good things on. They're both toughened PLAs. They're pretty good. Color Fab's a nightmare to find in Australia. There's a guy called 3D Printer Gear, Jamie. He's pretty cool. He's supposedly I don't know if he still is the distributor of Color Fab, but it's like $65 a roll.
That's normal. Well,
Is it?
Australian.
Yeah.
That's actually not bad.
Yeah?
Like, I can
think
get
it's
Color
fine.
Fab in the States for a little bit cheaper than that in US dollars. But if I try to get Color Fab from Europe, I'll pay that per spool.
Yeah. It's imported, that's the problem.
Yeah. It's okay if you get it from a reseller that's in the US. But buying direct, it's a nightmare.
Yeah. It's really good filament, though. Like, it is really good, and the colors are awesome. So, buy what you like. I don't really care, so, yeah. He's saying, sorry, I only had limited characters to type the question. I hope I answered it. Fried chicken filament. Oh my god. That'd be awesome.
Let's see here. eSun is reasonably priced.
Yeah, eSun's good. Griff is asking, can I make more robotics videos? That's what got me interested in me in the first place. Again, I have heaps planned for robot videos, and I just need to find the time. I'll be doing a little small one, like a little ant weight size one, which is 150 grams max weight, which is like 1 ounce, I think. If that. 1 ounce, I think. Fits in your hand, palm of your hand. I'm planning that, but yeah, big ones take time, and I don't have a workshop currently. I just have lots of 3D printers, which is kind of a workshop.
You can make any place a workshop out of that.
Yeah, it's not going to be the most reliable printer. People are asking about the tarantula. You guys can go check my review of it. I didn't finish it, and there's a whole description into why. Backstory: it was a first generation one, and it had lots of issues, and I wasn't comfortable continuing. But I can't comment on the current generation ones. I review what I get. That's how I approach my reviews. Is 3D printing costly?
Yes and no.
Define cost.
Defines costly, define what your addictive habits would be.
This spinner has probably $2 worth of filament in it.
At most.
At most. $2 worth. Maybe a few bearings. And a spool of filament costs maybe $20 a kilo, up to $50 a kilo for really good stuff. But the printer's going to be your main expense. If you want to print with other people, and you want to print high-end processors, you're looking at $1,000 for an SLS print that big.
Or more.
Or more. But you'll get an SLS print, which is very high detail. So yeah, it really does vary quite violently.
Very much.
Angus, will you please do a series teaching the basics of Fusion 360? I've already started. It's called CAD for Newbies. And there's already 2 videos. There will be a lot more.
He really likes Fusion recently.
It's free, has a really good mesh integration, and is really forgiving, actually. You can model dirty. Like, you know, in SolidWorks, you want to do a loft, you have to make it perfect, and you have to make the guide curves perfect. Fusion doesn't care. It lets you do it. It might not look good, but it lets you do it.
What?
That's why I like it.
Is buying a 3D printer worth it? Only you can answer that question.
Yeah. It's worth it to you, then it is worth it. Best place to get a Replicator 2 Mighty board in Australia?
Maybe start looking for...
eBay.
or might look into finding FlashForge replacements.
Yeah.
It's the same controller.
Yeah, FlashForge might get you out of trouble.
The FlashForge Creator Pro is the same controller.
Yeah, Creator Pro might get you out of trouble. There's a few resellers. You search. There's 3D Printing Superstore. He has some parts. He's in Melbourne. There's Jamie, 3D Printer Gear. I don't know who else would have parts that old.
Does anybody there have Wanhao parts?
Only crappy importers and resellers.
Because the Wanhao Duplicator 4 is the same controller as well.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, not many people have the Wanhao 4. Yeah. Otherwise, retrofit it with something else. If you're replacing the control board, it's not going to be that difficult.
Except we have to literally change every single plug. Because they use a very large plug on everything.
Okay, it's going to be very difficult then.
Yeah.
I've never had to do that. Yeah, JTGV saying SolidWorks lofting is the worst. It really is. It's disastrous. SolidWorks doesn't like organic curves. It hates it.
It doesn't like organic anything. It's very constrained.
I designed a figurine once in SolidWorks.
Wow.
Yeah. Don't ask me why I bothered. Because I had to use it for a uni project and I needed organic stuff.
That was a nightmare.
Yeah, it was terrible. Yvette's saying, stringing problems, do any slicer programs allow the user to define where the print head should leave one area to go to the next? Makes it easier to remove them after printing. Yes, I know Simplify 3D has a routing option to route through the part. I don't know if other things do. I'd assume they should.
They have, like, Simplify 3D has don't cross perimeters.
Don't cross perimeters, that's what it's called. So
it'll just, like, go
if
around.
you have like circles will like try to go around the circle, not go just between them, except it'll go between the closest point. I'm sure other things have it, but I don't know what it's called.
Will we ever get cheap paper 3D printer like MCore Technologies?
Is MCore still in business?
Yeah, they were at SolidWorks World.
Are they still going?
Yeah. They've got multicolored.
Because their cheap one, or the Eden, whatever it's called, has been going up in price.
Yeah.
Every time I see it.
That's why I was reading the question, because it's not a cheap machine.
No.
And it's not cheap to print with.
And the thing is about MCore technology, it's not an old technology, it's called LOM, Laminated Object Manufacturing. It's an old idea. And it's really, really slow. And you end up with parts that are paper. Sure, they feel like wood, but not practical.
Yeah.
Their appearance.
Don't get it wet.
No, don't get it wet. You can lacquer them, but amazing for topographic maps. That's probably it. I can't. And the paper's not like the paper that's around it. It's not like that's recycled again. It's sure you can chuck it into the recycle, but it's wasted. You got to pull it all out. With FDM, you only use the material that you use. I keep using this. There you go. Take it away from me.
Loving this stream. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Angus is starting to get lispy. It's actually because I'm thirsty. And no, it's not very good. It's a very unpotent drink, unfortunately. It's just pretty.
And he didn't add any alcohol to it, so it's low alcohol content as it is.
It's basically designed for cocktails. Ultra Lit Beam. My friend built his own 3D printer. Should I make one or just buy one? Ask him how many hours he's invested into making it. And if he's willing to help you make yours. In which case, if those answers are not very much hours, then yeah, sure, it's easy, I'll help. That's a good idea. Yeah, he'll help. That's a good idea. Get a mentor. If he says, oh god, I've spent all my life making this machine that sucks, then don't get a kit.
Should ask him how much time he's got into calibrating the machine too.
Calibrating's massive. You assemble something, then the calibration's a whole level above. I think I did something by accident.
Yeah, you smashed the keyboard.
It's bloops. Angus, are you single? No. No, I'm very not. That message may be redacted.
Although, if you're here another week, you may be.
Oh, I'm not staying. I'm not staying longer than a week. I need to get back to Sydney. To a very special someone. My 3D printers. Not really. Not really. Please don't kill me.
Maybe you don't want to go back now. You're going to be in the doghouse.
I will be in the doghouse. Practical printing. I'm going to have to try that purple elixir.
It's pretty interesting.
Luke's asking a good question. Can he stain wood filament?
Yes.
Yeah, he can. It's really cool, actually. It stains really well.
Yeah, some brands stain very well.
Yeah. You can stain it, and then you can lacquer it, and you can polish it, sand it.
Yeah.
It does get a bit fluffy when you sand it, because it's got the plastic in it. But yeah, it actually works really well.
Mm-hmm. I like how the surface feels. It feels like cardboard.
Yeah. It's like MDF.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It doesn't have a grain. That's the only thing. I wish it had a grain. Lady Muse, I know my place when it comes to 3D printers.
Dustin, are you on vacation? No, it's just late. I have work in the morning.
We probably should wrap up soon.
Yeah, probably.
This poor guy has to get to work in the morning.
I don't know what sleep is for like the last week.
Yeah, I got him up at 4 a.m. yesterday morning to pick me up from the airport.
And I got 3 hours of sleep before that.
Yeah.
And then I was up for 20 hours.
Very much appreciation for that, but
No
yeah.
problem.
David Lowe, I don't know anything about printers, but you guys are cool. Thank you, David.
Awesome.
I appreciate that.
JAT.MN, I just started building my FT5. Did you ever finish your FT5 build? Started a couple weeks ago. No.
It's still there.
It's still here. I'm pretty much ready to start wiring up the electronics, though. I think all
It
the
looks
structural
close.
stuff is all ready.
It looks close.
It's a very deceiving guide because it's got like 90 plus pages to it, but sometimes like one basic step is like 2 to 3 pages long, and it's just multiple pictures showing you how that step looks from different angles, or just over detailed for that one step, or recapping that step. But then other times the steps are very vague, or there's like multiple steps on one page.
Yeah.
So I'm only maybe a third of the way through the build doc, but I have no idea how far I really am. Because the rest of the steps might be like, put wire here.
Yeah, and wiring's massive. I mean, if you don't wire something properly, you're going to get fatigue issues.
Mm-hmm.
You'll plug one wire in, route it, and then find out it's too short by like that much because you used the wrong wire.
Yeah, or you routed it just slightly in the wrong spot.
Yeah. Chapman's still wearing his surgical work clothes. It does look a bit like a gown. like a doctor's thing.
It's a V-neck shirt.
It is a V-neck.
It's just a t-shirt.
It looks like it could continue down.
I guess it does. Smock.
I am. Someone said I'm going to come back to a room with smashed printers now.
Probably.
Absolutely. And someone was mentioning the RX-7. That whole rotary thing. Look, I would love an RX-8. I know the RX-7's better, but the thing about Australians is those cars are destroyed. Like, they are trashed because everyone ported them and just trashed them. So I'm very unlikely to find an RX-8 that works. I'm not going to find an RX-7 that is remotely functional. So, yeah. Not happening. Destroyed. They were cheap enough that they just weren't. Yeah.
It's horrible.
They were, yeah, all of them are J-ported. It's just horrible. There's now a new printer mounted to a continuous belt for continuous printing. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, the black belt.
Was that a Photoshop job?
No, it's real.
Picture? Is it real?
It's a real machine.
Okay.
It's a real expensive machine.
Hmm.
With the interest of patents pending, but we don't know on what.
On the belt system?
We don't know.
Because, for those who don't know, MakerBot used to be open source. If you're new to this community, you might not know that. And basically, they developed an open source conveyor belt system for the original MakerBot thingamatic.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucked. But, anyway, then a few years later, when they went closed source and Stratasys bought them, they patented it. And there's a patent for a conveyor belt 3D printing service, which is rubbish because it was open in public domain before they protected it, so that's not going to hold up in court. But yeah, so these guys are protecting something, but I don't think it's going to be the belt.
I don't know, because the main thing that's different about them is the Z-axis is on a 45. So
maybe that's how they got around it.
It's like an i3 that got smashed.
Yeah. Maybe that's how they got around it.
I don't know.
Maybe the patent says, like, perpendicular. Maybe they just didn't do that. Because this needs to be a certain degree different.
I have no idea, because the patent for the MakerBot is just, like, so wordy.
It's horrible. That's how they work. They make it so obscurely wordy that it might infringe, you're not sure.
Mm-hmm.
They'll take you to court, they'll threaten you. I think it's rubbish, but yeah, it's cool that someone's made it. The only problem is getting that level and stuff is going to be impossible.
I'm mostly curious about the slicing that the black belt uses, because it's printing on a 45.
That would be a firmware thing, I think.
How would you slice it?
You slice it normally. Use just coordinates.
But
It's like how you slice normally for a delta.
Right, but you're slicing vertical like this. It's printing like this. It's going across and it's printing like this.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was offset.
No.
What?
Like, if this is laying on its back, it would print like this.
Oh, okay.
You pick it up and it would be vertical lines.
That's right.
Going
So
down to
it's
45.
it's an infinite build volume.
Yeah.
Ah.
So you could theoretically print one really long part,
Yeah.
or just a bunch of little ones.
Yeah.
But everything, the layer lines are not horizontal.
Mm.
So I'm very curious about the slicing on it.
Yeah. Have they demonstrated any videos yet? I haven't seen any videos.
Nothing.
Is it going to be a Maker Faire?
No.
Okay.
It might be on Kickstarter.
When I go to buy a t-shirt thing, do I get a shirt like JAT.MN?
What?
No, you don't get a shirt like JAT.MN. That's special edition.
If you really want this shirt, where is this one from? Go to Banana Republic.
Joey linked me to a Mazda RX-8 in Australia. I said I'm looking, but I don't trust any of them. Do a review on the G-Tech Me Creator 2. No, sorry, I can't take any more reviews. Oh, that's a good one. Have you tried Onshape? What do you think about it if you did? So, look back through my old videos. You want to see me using Onshape? I absolutely did. It's not bad. I got really insulted when they decided to just throw the community, the maker community, into the dirt by destroying their free plan. Now, I understand free plans, you shouldn't be expecting anything. But the fact is they made their paid plan, which is the only usable plan because you don't get any private documents on the free plan, $100 US a month.
It's a lot of money.
$100 a month. That's insane.
That's $1,200 a year.
Yeah. When Fusion 360 has better mesh compatibility between importing an STL and editing it, and it's free for creators, makers, and startups, it was a bit of a no-brainer when it came to actually changing over. And just a side note, Onshape did call me and said, hey, we found your channel, it's great, and someone signed up because of you. Why aren't you using a premium plan? Would you like a premium plan? Would you like to buy a premium plan?
They did a sales pitch to you?
Because they said we found you through someone who said thank you for recommending it. Let that sink in.
Could you imagine if you got contacted by filament makers and they're like, would you like to buy this filament because someone said that you recommended it?
Yep. Yeah. So that's why I don't use Onshape. I know it's great, it's on the cloud, but if they're not going to support makers, then I'm not going to support them. That's how it is.
They are not targeting makers.
They're not targeting makers, and that's fine, but it means I'm not going to use it. And probably just a couple more questions, guys, and we should go to bed, because this guy has work in the morning.
Yeah, and it's like almost 11 o'clock. Well, it is pretty much 11 o'clock.
Saying Tom's 3D uses Onshape. I thought he only used open source stuff.
He is openly boasting and doing live content with Onshape. He is a strong supporter of it, actually.
Okay. I mean, I'd have no problem making a file public, but I have a problem making a file public that I'm just starting. It's a few sketches, a few features. It's not finished. I'm not going to make it public. I want to make it public when it's finished.
Right.
That's why without even one private document, I'm not going to.
Yeah, because you can't work on future content for your
can't.
channel.
No, I can't, because then people are going to find it straight away. They'll know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. So, yeah, I need to go to bed, so you guys need to end this. Autodesk is pretty loose with issuing student licenses. Yeah, I mean, if you got a student email, you can get everything. You can get Inventor, you can get Maya, you can get Mudbox, you can get Revit for free.
That's cool.
Using just your student email. Fusion's Autodesk is really supportive of the. I think it's clever because they're seeding the next generation of businessmen.
Yeah, because they're going to be using.
Because it's going to be like, we'll use it in future. Then we'll know Autodesk, and when we actually have to pay it because they're running a multi-million-dollar company, we'll be like, Autodesk, let's get it.
It's what I've been using forever. So
yeah.
That's what I need.
Yeah,
it's very smart.
It's very smart. I don't know why no one else does it.
I don't know why Onshape said they don't want to.
I don't know. They did come from SolidWorks.
Yeah,
The CEO came from SolidWorks. All right, couple more questions, guys. Yeah, I can get Inventor. Yes, you can. Go to the Autodesk student community. and then register with your student email, and you can download Inventor tonight. Have fun. We're helping someone procrastinate for packing for their flight. You might want to start doing that. Or we'll just keep procrastinating. You'll keeping you procrastinating. Student versions can't be used for commercial or profit reasons. Yes, that's the point. Someone was saying they were using it for education, therefore they can get this. They can get the edition. I have Fusion 360 under a startup license, therefore I can't earn more than $100,000 US a year.
So next year you're gonna have to pay for it.
Yeah, jeez. I mean this YouTube thing.
I know.
It's paying so much.
Especially with this like AdSense boost.
AdSense boost. Yeah, they're calling it ad apocalypse. It should be ad opportunity.
Yeah. It's horrible.
Yeah, jeez. They're just throwing so much money at us to keep making content. Maybe there is alcohol in this drink. So Slater 50-50 tomorrow. No.
I won't be able to make it for lunch. I have work tomorrow.
He's got to work.
It's too far from work.
Yeah.
I would get there and break would be over.
Programming Cats, do you think SolidWorks is worth it? If I'm running a machine shop or a team of engineers, yes.
Or if I have 15 grand just burning a hole in my pocket, sure.
Yeah, it's 15 grand for a single seat in Australia for premium. And that's not with a maintenance contract.
Which you pretty much need.
Because it's not backwards compatible at all. You can't send anything back, even with an update of that version.
You can open old files with new software, but old software won't open new files. No. Yeah.
Even if you haven't done anything to do with new features.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes.
Even if it's one version.
Yeah. Even if it's an update, if it's major, like Service Pack 3, you might need to go back to 1. Yes. So no, it's not worth it if you're an individual at all. And yeah, you guys can catch us at Bay Area Maker Faire if you've missed us tonight, and also if you're near the Matter Hackers event on Wednesday night, Matter Hackers Meetup, you can catch us there.
So I want to plug this one real quick.
Go.
If you guys are, for whatever reason, incredibly bored on Thursday, watch Twitter feed, watch your YouTube notifications for either of our channels, and we will be streaming randomly on our road trip up to Bay Area Maker Faire.
Yeah.
Either one of us or both of us, because we have a third driver available. Shout out to CME-CNC. They sponsored wireless internet for us for the road trip.
That's super nice of them.
Live streaming on the road so we can hang out with you guys for that 6 to 8 hour drive.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So we'll be streaming that on either of our channels. And,
periodically, wherever service is available, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That should be good. Tessa Logan. Yeah, you should get out to the Bay Area Maker Faire, dude. I'd like to catch up with you. Alright, I'm going to finish this up, guys.
Sounds good. You are driving from LA to San Francisco, you poor guy. California is huge.
It's massive. It's going to be a huge drive.
On record, you guys, I've lived in California almost my entire life, and I've lived in various parts of California. 200-mile drive or 4-hour drive is sort of regular if you're a California native.
I'm not used to that sort of drive at all.
Yeah. So an 6 to 8 hour drive is just like, yeah, it's pushing it, but you could drive 12 hours and stay in the same state.
That's nuts.
Just saying.
That's
Texas
huge.
is bigger. Yes, Texas is bigger. But California's longer.
Longer, yeah. We're going to be going somewhat on the coast, though, aren't we?
No, we're going to go the straight route.
Okay.
Unless you want to take like a 10 to 12 hour drive.
No, I don't. I want to get straight there as much as possible. How long does it take to drive across Australia? Yeah, probably a lot longer.
200 miles in 4 hours means you're driving too slow. Have you ever heard of traffic? California has a lot of people. You're not necessarily driving near the speed limit at times.
Yeah.
And I don't mean on the high side.
Yeah.
Depends on time of day.
No, you can go fast. In your car.
My car will go fast, yeah.
Yeah, your car will go fast.
But I'm not going very fast if I got a dozen cars in front of me.
That's true.
Yeah.
Unless you go on the... Just go on the dirt.
Yeah.
Like all the people from Vegas.
Yeah, they do that. It's crazy.
That's so funny. Alright guys, I'm going to end this here. Thank you so much for joining us. I've had an absolute blast with my buddy Dustin. If you haven't checked out his channel, go over to the JAT.MN. He needs some subs. He needs more subbies.
More subs.
More subscribers. And he has to work tomorrow, which sucks. But he's been awesome putting me up here in LA and... Well, it's not LA, it's California.
Yeah.
But, and yeah, if you're going to be at the Matter Hackers event, catch up with me, Dustin, Joel, 3D Maker Noob,
Lauren's gonna be there.
Lauren, yeah, heaps of people.
There's a bunch of
There's
people.
so many. It's gotten to the point where the Twitter feed, we can't fit enough people in the attention.
tagging, yeah.
In the tagging. Yeah.
And Bay Area Maker Fair is gonna be worse.
Bay Area Maker Fair is going to be nuts.
Or
So,
better.
yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah, so catch us up. Our headquarters is going to be the Matter Hackers booth, and then we're just going to propagate out from
Well,
there.
I'll be based out of the See Me CNC booth.
Okay. So See Me CNC or Matter Hackers, they'll probably be near each other, to be honest. They'll probably be the
I
same.
have no idea.
I hope
they
so.
do something weird with the layout every year
Mm.
over there.
Okay. We'll find out there.
Yeah.
But I'll be around, and I have Maker coins, so come say hi, and if you want to make a coin, let me know. I brought a box. They're there till they last. I'm trying to get rid of them.
First hour.
Probably. Cool. Alright. Anything else you want to add to that?
Are we doing another one? Are you doing any more live streams? Are you gonna attempt any like collaborations or anything while you're here?
I'd like to. I haven't planned anything yet. Stay tuned. I mean, I'll try to schedule stuff. But there'll definitely be more content. Absolutely. Because there's heaps of people we're catching up with.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, Devin should be there. On Wednesday night.
Yeah, Devin should
Yeah,
be
Devin from Make Anything.
there. Make Anything should be there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Alright. Thanks for watching, guys. Really enjoyed this. If you enjoyed this random stream with my buddy Dustin, and want to consider subscribing to Makers Muse, and if you haven't already, you probably have, hit that button. And also head over to JAT.MN's channel and hit his button so you can subscribe to him.
Just don't push my buttons, man.
Push the button repeatedly. It means you like him a lot. Alright, cool. Alright, look forward to catching you very shortly on Makers Muse, guys. See you later, and you can do the thing.
I will do the thing, but we're gonna sit here awkwardly while we wait for it.
That's fine. It's not awkward at all. There's still Vinique left.
That's awesome.
Shiny.
Shiny.